2 soldiers have been killed and 3 others injured in a mine blast near the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. Sources have said an officer and a soldier were killed in action after an army patrol stepped on a landmine near the LoC. The army said the mine blast occurred during an area domination patrol by the troops. The fallen soldiers have been identified as Lieutenant Rishi Kumar and Sepoy Manjeet Singh. And Aryan Khan, the son of the superstar Shah Rukh Khan, returned home on Saturday on bail after nearly 4 weeks in a Mumbai jail. The 23-year-old cannot leave Mumbai without informing the police and has to appear before the Narcotics Control Bureau every Friday. He cannot talk to the press either, said the Bombay High Court in its bail order on Thursday.
The first glimpse of Aryan Khan as he exited Mumbai's Arthur Road jail after 27 days in custody. Exactly at 11 o'clock this morning, Aryan Khan walked out of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail after spending 22 days in prison. Son of superstar Shah Rukh Khan, Aryan Khan was arrested on 3rd October after the Narcotics Control Bureau, the anti-drugs agency, raided a cruise ship on Mumbai and recovered drugs from others. At 8 in the morning, Shah Rukh Khan left his residence Mannat in a convoy, along with bodyguards to bring his son home. Fans had begun gathering by then. Aryan Khan was released from Arthur Road jail exactly at 11 in the morning and reached home 30 minutes later. Shah Rukh's fans welcomed him with drumbeats and fireworks.
Aryan Khan's car, his convoy cars have gone ahead, but his car completely mobbed by the media, and cops are trying their best to give him way so that he can enter Mannat. I'm not sure if Aryan Khan expected this. These are the visuals of Aryan Khan entering Mannat with a huge crowd.
आर्यन खान के लिए यही बोलेंगे कि इतनी शिद्दत से मैंने तुम्हें पाने की कोशिश की है कि हर जर्रे ने मुझे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की है।
एक्चुअली इस बार तो उनका बेटा था और हमारा फैमिली जैसा ही कनेक्शन है, क्योंकि उन्होंने खुद भी बोला हुआ है कि मेरे फैंस नहीं, मेरे दोस्त हैं। तो
After the Bombay High Court granted him bail on Thursday, Aryan Khan's legal team was hoping to secure his release by Friday itself. But the release order did not reach the jail on time, due to which he had to spend one more night in jail. The archaic processes meant further delays, especially the manner in which the prison authorities receive orders to release prisoners. Aryan Khan is back home ahead of his superstar father's birthday on 2nd November and the festival of Diwali 2 days later. But he has strict bail conditions to adhere to, which, if violated, could result in cancellation of bail. With Rohit Khilnani and camera person Sanjay Mandal, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
And the mortal remains of the Kannada superstar Puneeth Rajkumar, wrapped in the national tricolour, have been kept at the Kantirava Stadium to enable fans and well-wishers to pay their respects. This was all day on Saturday, but with the queues showing no signs of ending, the Chief Minister said, after consultation with the family, that the cremation would be postponed to Sunday instead.
Even as his daughter arrived from the US early on Saturday evening, the endless queues of fans lining up to pay homage to their beloved hero Puneeth Rajkumar prompted the family to postpone his funeral for Sunday.
ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಸದಸ್ಯರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಅಂತ್ಯಕ್ರಿಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಾಳೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕನ್ನುವಂತ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು.
Even travelling from other states, fans cutting across various strata of society, including cinestars, reached Bengaluru.
It's like blank हो गए, blank आ गई थी, full blank आ गई थी. I don't know what to say. My father and mother are very sad. My mother is crying like anything.
It's a great loss losing our athlete, the power star of Karnataka, Puneeth Rajkumar, and he's very close to our family.
Puneeth Rajkumar, popularly known as the Power Star or Appu, passed away on Friday after a massive heart attack. The 46-year-old superstar of Kannada cinema had acted in 29 movies as lead actor, building a cult following in Karnataka for his action sequences and fitness regime.
अभी राजकुमार सर था ना बड़ा सर, वो इसका फेस में कौन सा स्माइल था, वही स्माइल और पुनीत राज सर फेस में भी स्माइल था.
पूरे कर्नाटक की तरफ से श्रद्धांजलि देती.
Puneet Rajkumar carried forward the legacy of his father. Legendary Rajkumar's simplicity, smile and style. Puneet reflected all of them with elegance. With camera person Govind Murthy, Nihal Khidwai for NDTV.
And Prime Minister Modi interacted with world leaders, including the US President Joe Biden, on the sidelines of the G20 summit, exchanging pleasantries and showcasing a spirit of camaraderie in a series of photos tweeted out by the PMO. Prime Minister Modi was seen there walking with Joe Biden in that half embrace, apparently sharing a light chit-chat. He was also seen meeting with the French President Emmanuel Macron, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The Prime Minister will be participating at the G20 summit in Rome from the 30th and 31st. That is on the invitation of the Italian Prime Minister, a summit that is to focus on the areas of recovery from the pandemic and the strengthening of the global health governance. Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister met with the Pope at the Vatican.
Prime Minister Modi being greeted at the Vatican a short while before his meeting with the Pope. The meeting, which went on for an hour, has been described by Mr. Modi as being positive. Had a very warm meeting with Pope Francis. I had the opportunity to discuss a wide range of issues with him and also invited him to visit India.
The Pope has graciously attended the Prime Minister's, accepted the Prime Minister's invitation, and in his own words, I'm paraphrasing him, he says, "You have given me the greatest gift. I'm looking forward to visiting India."
Today's meeting comes on a day of the crucial summit of the Group of 20 Nations in Rome, with Mr. Modi meeting President Biden and the French President. Earlier, in a meeting with the Italian President Mario Draghi, the two leaders agreed to accelerate the clean energy transition to fight climate change, central to both the G20 Leaders Summit in Rome and the COP26 meeting in Glasgow. The G20 meeting is focused on strengthening economic resilience and bringing back inclusive growth as the globe emerges out of the COVID pandemic.
The WHO's approval, the emergency use authorization for Covaxin, our indigenous vaccine pending with them, would facilitate this process of our assisting other countries. The Prime Minister spoke about facilitating international travel. I did mention this yesterday, but he mentioned it in his statement at the G20 today. He talked about the mechanism of mutual recognition of vaccine certification as a means of achieving this.
The Prime Minister will next head to Glasgow in the United Kingdom, where global leaders will address key climate change issues as the world stares at the prospect of irreversible changes if a rise in temperatures is not kept in check. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
And instead of all roads leading to Rome, all roads seem to be leading to pole-bound Goa these days. For several hours on Saturday afternoon, both Mamata Banerjee and Rahul Gandhi were in and around Panjim city, jostling for political space in this coastal state that goes to the polls early next year. The BJP hopes the more parties in the fight, the more fragmented the vote against it will be.
Mamata Banerjee at her first public meeting of sorts at Mapusa. She left for the airport this afternoon after 2 days in Goa. Just as Rahul Gandhi arrived at Panjim's Azad Maidan riding pillion on a motorcycle, some bystanders said that the two leaders should come together.
You want them to fight jointly?
Yeah, why not? I think they'll make a good party.
So whether Mamata comes and Rahul comes, but there should be some party, and I feel these people should get together to fight the BJP.
But Rahul Gandhi refused to comment.
A comment on Mamata Banerjee. You are in town at the same time as Mamata Banerjee, and she has...
Mamata Banerjee launched one of her most scathing attacks on the Congress.
Modi is going to be more powerful because of Congress, because they are their TRP.
The more the merrier is what the BJP is banking on. The more the opposition parties join the fight for Goa, the more fragmented the anti-BJP vote.
सपने में भी डर नहीं है वो इनकम्बेंसी कट करने की कोशिश करता हो जाएगी होती है वो so who is the loser we are not the loser let Congress तो कांग्रेस को खाने के लिए आ गए तो खाने दो.
Key players like Vijay Sardesai may upset BJP calculations. The former congressman and former deputy chief minister in the BJP government met Mamata Banerjee today.
There have to be a convergence of like-minded entities. It won't happen with a merger. Okay. It will happen with coming together.
So it is their decision, their choice. Regional, local parties can work together.
Political permutations are sure to go on in Goa till the voting day and even after. But much before that, Goa could trigger a parting of ways between the Congress and Trinamool and shake up politics in the run-up to 2024.
Political permutations and combinations in Goa are sure to carry on till voting day and maybe even after. But before that, Goa could trigger the parting of ways between the Trinamool Congress and the Congress and shake up national politics in the run-up to New Delhi 2024. In Panjim, with Ashok Mahale, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
And by-polls to 30 assembly constituencies and 3 Lok Sabha seats were held across the country on Saturday. The Lok Sabha by-polls were in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Mandi in Himachal Pradesh and Khandwa in Madhya Pradesh. Meanwhile, the assembly by-polls were spread across 14 states. The counting of the votes will begin on the 2nd of November. Meanwhile, Kashigang, the world's highest polling station, at a height of 15,256 feet, registered 100% turnout on polling day for the Mandi parliamentary constituency in Himachal Pradesh. Totally 47 registered voters in Kashigang, a small village in the Spiti Valley, all turned out and voted. Jio is trying to balance value and performance with a highly optimized version of the Android. However, there just might be some better options out there. Rubina Mongia goes hands-on with the Jio Phone Next to bring you all the details.
Jio and Google's play to bring hundreds of millions of unconnected Indians online is here. Yes, this is the Jio Phone Next, a phone that is called the most affordable Android phone ever. Let's take a closer look. In line with the budget positioning of the phone, the construction here is all plastic. You get a 5.4-inch HD screen here, which even has Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The phone is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 215 processor with 2 GB of RAM. Now the general performance is reasonably snappy considering the entry-level positioning, but this is obviously not the phone for heavy gaming. That said, the phone will be compatible with practically all Android apps since the phone operating system, Pragati OS, is just a highly optimized version of Android. On the imaging side, there's a 13 megapixel camera at the back and an 8 megapixel camera at the front. And finally, there is 3500 mAh battery, keeping the phone going all day long. Now, all that might sound really enticing at 1,999 rupees, but there's a catch. The low cost is only when buying the phone on contract. If you buy it outright, the Jio Phone Next costs 6,499 rupees. Sticking to the EMI plan, even on the base data and calling plan, you will still be paying almost 9,200 rupees for the phone. Now, phones like Xiaomi Redmi 9A offer more bang for your buck when bought outright and include larger batteries, better performance at similar price points. Now, in case you're willing to stretch your budget just a bit more, you can even get higher end specs like high refresh rates and 48 megapixel cameras on a phone, say like the Samsung Galaxy M12. For all the hype over the Jio Phone Next, the magic isn't in the hardware. Rather, it is Jio's introduction of contract-based sales models that is interesting. While the monthly contract system is popular in markets like the US, it hasn't seen much success in India. Will it see wide uptake in India? Will Jio be able to change the game and bring the next 100 million online? We'll have to wait and see. Ruvina Mongia, NDTV.